Initiates, hide your baby mothers.
No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth. Thank you very much. You say there's a sippy cup for Blue. But Blue's grown up now. She doesn't take sippy cup, and she has her own Grammys. Now, I tell the truth.
Nah, so but here goes Nicki Minaj's chart. What stands out prominent to y'all? Like,
Well,
is this a chart for an artist or is this a chart for an artist? Y'all let me know. Like,
well,
Yeah.
well, first, yeah, like a chart for an artist, right? So, like, one you see. Hold on, I'm tripping. I thought she no, that was not it. All right, but anyway, though, right? So look in the 10th house, right? If you see Nicki, she got a big talent and she has dived up, right? But no, fuck that. I'm talking shit. But it's really that 11th house because her connections and also what she got herself into, meeting the right people, right? Think about the record label she signed to when she first came on.
Young Money,
MCMB, right? Young Money, Cash Money, Baby. And that's what really got her going, you know, giving her like a stampede in the yard. Like, who she was with Lil Wayne. Who was all us in that group? Tyga. You got motherfucking
Gutter.
exactly.
Lil Twist, Lil Chucky.
So like
Drake.
Drake. So she came in with a stampede of like artists with her. So she wasn't just alone in her musical pursuit.
She was the only woman
Exactly.
in the game.
what in her chart signifies that she might be a woman over a boy?
Man, that Scorpio energy.
Virgo.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing that's interesting about her chart. Because looking at her chart, it seemed like she came here to be an entertainer and to not be loved by people. Like she welcomes negativity. You know what I mean? She don't want everybody to love her. You know, because I mean, how would that sell? You know what I mean? Like, how was that interesting? Everybody love you. You know, and it's interesting the energy that's in Sagittarius with the conjunction of Venus, Neptune, and Mercury. That shit is crazy. Like
all her houses, not all her houses, all her planets are focused in like career aspects. How long has Nicki been rapping for? How long she's been doing music and art? She's about 46.
No, man, she was born in '82. She ain't. Come on, man. Man, she like 42. Yeah, 42. You said she's 46 is crazy. That's a real wild boy. She was fucking with the art. She was fucking with the video until you said that. She hit us with the canceled us that fast. No, but go ahead though.
And then you see all the vacancies in all these other houses. You know what I mean? The house of self, the house of resources, the house of communication. It's almost like, I know I already said it, but it's almost like she literally only came here to do what she's doing.
Yeah, she did not come here to wash dishes. I'll tell you that.
She didn't come here to be friends with nobody. She ain't come here to, you know what I mean, for some spiritual alchemy. Like, she really just came here to almost just be a fucking troll, man.
Yeah, she gang. She gang.
But listen though, she had a brother that was went to jail for some sexual thing, right? And the energy that ruled brothers is Gemini, but she also got Chiron in her 4th house, the house of wounds. So I know, like, growing up, she grew up in either Queens, right? She grew up in Queens. So she didn't see shit growing up. she didn't see nothing growing up that said, "Yeah, this is what I want."
Yeah,
Like her brother on bullshit. She probably seen her mom and dad on bullshit, but
her
she
parents were
had
immigrants.
talent, bro. She had North Node and Gemini. This is that
Yeah.
Tupac energy, that Biggie energy in her fifth house. She have a severe talent of wordplay. And then when she grew up to be an adult, like you need to really study your chart. Because if you a motherfucker that got a chart that look like this, and you washing dishes, you have severely made the wrong choice in life somewhere along the way. And I'm not saying that washing dishes is bad because you gotta wash dishes, but that's the highlight of y'all motherfucking day sometimes.
Yeah, you don't get the smack battle rap league with its notoriety and everybody wanting to watch
Smack!
battle rap. You don't get that without Nicki Minaj. You don't get Waka Flocka without Nicki Minaj. Now Waka was brought on by his moms, but his moms blew up off of Nicki Minaj. So the only reason people know Waka's mom or even Waka is because of Nicki. And the only reason people know Smack URL is because of Nicki. She was the only female doing battle rap with a bunch of dudes, and she went through every borough, and the rest is history.
Let's look at this chart though, man, because motherfuckers is tweaking off this astrology.
Look at
Astrology
the,
ain't real. Astrology ain't real, bitch. She got Jupiter conjunct her fucking midhaven, conjunct her part of fortune. Your midhaven is where you're supposed to be in life. Jupiter is your planet of expansion. In your 10th house in Scorpio. Her name is Nicki Minaj. Minaj, the last time I thought Minaj was a sexual act. Scorpio, what rules Scorpio? The sexual organs. How you gonna have a Minaj without sexual organs? But she got the sun in the 10th house. How she expressed herself. She is awakened to her sexual energy. So it's like she is so at home with sexual energy, bro. Like and then to say sexual energy, yeah, it's in my 10th house. So you got this sexual energy and you need to make money off of it. Look at your Scorpio placements if you're a woman. What house is
What house is your Scorpio in? Was going to say.
yeah. And also, speaking of that house of Scorpio, she had Uranus in there. So, like, Uranus helps us realize awaken us to our power, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta think about, and it's also like a misconception of newer things, like things that people are not used to. So her realizing that about her energy, she stepped into it and was a rebel about it. Like we said earlier, besides Lil Kim, who's coming out in that type of clothing, that type of energy, she was one of those people after her who embodies that. So you gotta think about how those planets in your chart activate for you.
Mm-hmm.
Here, hold up. I'm gonna share something about it.
Yeah, and I mean to add to it too is like with the Venus, Neptune, and Mercury, all in the first decan in Sagittarius in the 11th house is like whatever message she has, is gonna reach its audience, and she gonna be in a place, where like she literally came in a game where she didn't have no rival. You know what I mean? Because it was nobody like her. You know what I mean? She was rapping, singing, and then just like putting on an act. You know what I mean? Like her performance was really just like a show, from the facial expressions, the changing of the voice, and all of that.
She's a theater kid.
And she was a theater kid. She went to a performance art school in New York City.
I'm trying to get it pulled back up.
And she has nothing in complex.
So I'm gonna just because when you said sincere, I was actually looking up sincere. I didn't know you was going to say sincerity.
Hmm.
When you do any of this spiritual work, any of this altar work, and you might read a book and it's like you need 4 green candles, but you got $2 in your pocket and you was going to get a double cheeseburger and you can't afford green candles, you can still do powerful spell work. You can do powerful witchcraft. And I'm going to give you the secret sauce. Sincerity. What is sincerity? Pure, unmixed, unadulterated. Unadulterated just means unmixed, free from pretense or falsehood. Like the coldest thing you can do spiritually is submit. When you have anger, or you have arrogance, or you have ego, and you start doing altar work, you start, I'm about to X this bitch. I'm about to, and then you might manifest something with your altar, and now you can't nobody tell you shit. Like,
Hmm.
you are no longer sincere, and
Hmm.
mighty will fall. So to be clean, to be pure, you can't be a master and be sincere. You can't be a guru and be sincere. These titles are implicit to a lack of sincerity. So when we talk about sincerity and altar work, don't think you need this, that, a different altar over here, a different altar for that, this, that, and the third. If you got it, go crazy. I'm talking about, because when I came into this shit, I had $2 in my pocket, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. Sometimes I ain't even have that. But I was making it happen with pens, pads, jacking off, not coming, using that sexual energy to get a fucking more than $2. You feel me? So work with what you got. Sincerity is going to be your number one weapon in all spiritual working.
Hmm.
And don't forget to cook. Like,
What do you mean by that?
like giving offerings, like using food. That's like just like a key code, especially on times where you know, like
100%.
you just throwing food out. You can always like microwave it, get it back right, like how you get it right for yourself, and just offer it. I remember when I was giving up certain foods, or like I didn't want to eat something, but I just remember like, oh man, I can give this to my altar and actually like be for real about it. Because I know I didn't need it. I had this extra food because someone else needed it.
Today, a little freestyle.
Hey, AD, because I know you the king of portable altars. Would you answer this question that's by Aluk Numite, who says, do people make outdoor altars in secluded places? Would you have an answer for that?
Yes, a lot of people have, and you can make your own too. But the best way to do it, because sometimes it's hard to find like a terrain that's going to cover the altar or the things that you want to put there. So you can use a tree stump. You can go to a certain type of hill. You can go to a mound. You can go to a certain area in the park, like a cemetery. So there's a lot of places you can choose and find. It's about what's feeling right to you, and I say make sure it's a place where you can take your shoes off and your socks.
People doing all types of weird shit. I'll be like, I wonder what went on here. Something happened around this motherfucker. It's a baby doll. It's crayon.
Baseball.
It's a baseball bat. It's a goddamn beef tongue. You like, what the hell happened over here? Nails in it. You like, oh, what type of shit going on?
That nigga just say beef tongue. He didn't say beef.
Yeah. Listen, that's the number one ritual. I bet you that ritual is done more than any ritual known to man.
The beef tongue ritual?
Cow tongue. I'm telling you, bro. No, but what you got to say about altar serpent? You fuck with them, or you don't think they're important?
I think altars are extremely important. I think they're essential to any idea of cultivating spiritual development. Excuse me, I am also doing double duty at work. Pardon me. But yeah, when it comes to any level of spiritual development or an individual trying to cultivate their own spiritual development, you have to create a sense of camaraderie and connection with your ancestors, and the best way to do that is through altar work. And I know I found for me that whenever I just need space or whenever I just need to go somewhere because I might be dealing with a particular thing, whatever it may be, if I'm stuck on something, if I don't know what decision to make, or if I don't know what to do for a particular moment, I know time spent at my altar is going to alleviate that. So, excuse me.
Message.
Niggers.
Like whenever I am in a tough spot, my altar is always the answer. Whenever I need to make a big decision and I'm wallowing from one side to the other, my altar is the answer. Whenever I set a goal and I want to plant a seed for something I want to work to, my altar is the answer. So, as far as I'm concerned, there is no spiritual work, there is no cultivating spiritual development without an altar.
Yes. Back up in this thing. Man. It's the initiates. Man, we're about to have a wonderful, impactful show for the spiritual beings out here, man. We're about to do it big and do it bright. But before we get into that, let me introduce my co-hosts this evening. Got AD, Sacred, and Breeze, man. But I'm gonna let them show off their IG handles and things of that nature, introduce themselves, give a word to the collective before we start this build. Make sure you like the video too. Very simple to do. Take 2 seconds. Hit the like button. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Peace to the tribe. Welcome to tonight's show. You guys are going to enjoy it. We got a lot of things packed and ready to launch and go for y'all. Go ahead, check out the Instagram, AD_Senpai33 down below, where you can get connected to my link tree, see all my revenues, see myself do martial arts, man. I'm an athlete, also a tarot reader, astrologist, coming up in my way, gaining experience. So check me out, book me for a reading. You know what I'm saying? Check out my YouTube. I got other readings that I've done and talk about tarot cards. So join me on the road to the Kabbalah.
Yes, sir.
Check out my brothers too. Share the love.
Yes. Breeze, Sacred, y'all there?
Yeah, I'm Breeze, also known as Jabriji on Instagram. Do readings. I love talking about esoteric things. I'm an engineer by trade, and an alchemist by night.
Type shit.
And you know, I just
That's
like...
hard, Jabreed. I like that, man. Most niggas can't say no shit like that and really stand. That's pretty intense.
And I just like, you know, seeing people feel confident about their gifts, you know what I mean, and really realizing their gifts. Because we need more people. I think we'll be better off with more people who understand their gifts and are eager to share them and develop them in our environments. So whatever I can do to help the collective achieve that, that's what I see myself doing when it's all said and done.
Serpentini, you up next. You up there?
Yeah, Sacred Serpent, Dark Sacred Serpent on Instagram. Yeah, I'm really excited about this new collective. I'm really excited about the initiates, and if you haven't already, join the Discord. Check out the Discord chat. We got a lot of stuff going on there. It's a way to interact with us on a day-to-day level, so to speak. Yeah, like I'm really excited about tonight's show too. I'm really excited to see what you guys got cooked up, kind of charts we're looking at and all of that. So yeah, let's go.
Shout out to my man's Mad Titan, one of the realest brothers on this YouTube space with the 4.99 super sticker. We appreciate the love as we are building our platform, and we really got big visions for this platform and what we could offer to the collective. However, I don't think we really introduced ourselves and explained this collective of four individuals. Now, it's not just a bunch of, homeboys talking about random things. This is a very spiritual thing. Um, we figure ourselves to be impacted by the same energies to bring this collective to you. So our consistency is definitely a work in progress, but it's definitely going to be a reality in the near future, starting now. And before we get into the build, we just want to introduce you to our patron saints, right? Because our conversation today is going to be centered in guardian angels and spiritual things, right? But of course, you can ask your questions, throw them in the chat. We'll highlight them and we'll answer them because that's what we want to bring to the collective. We just don't want to talk about things that interest us. We want this to be an interactive share and an interactive build. But not to say like we're just shooting from the hip. We got real power with this. As you know, we are called the initiates, but the initiates is short for the initiates for or of the flame. And that name came to us as we were thinking of names to create a podcast. And we had like really no idea what we was going to name it. Actually, we had some real bad ideas when I think about the initial names that we had. But we started with the initiates, and then we collectively added the flame. But we did initial research, and I think one of us had opened up the metaphysical or Judica Illis guide to spirits, and it opened to Brigitte, right?
Yes.
But we was already named the initiates of the flame. But when we saw the identification of Brigitte, the fiery arrow, the bright one, the lady of the shores, the ashless flame, moon crown queen of the undying flame, we all collectively said, this is the goddess of what brought us together as a collective, right? This is the goddess. And the reason that we're telling you this is because, it could just be a bunch of niggas just talking about football right now. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to understand the psychic abilities. And I want to, these are some humble young men, right? But please don't mistake their humility for lack of spiritual power. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you point blank, you just don't come out of nowhere calling yourself the initiates to the flame. Open up a random book, see a random goddess, and the goddess is named the queen of the undying flame. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that is the patron saint on the goddess level to this collective. Now, another aspect that we want to bring to your awareness is the energy on the masculine spectrum of Pascal Beverly Randolph, a very intuitive Black man that created Western occultism, probably one of the reasons that we all here together now. But even more so, what brought us into the rosy flame, right? Or the rosy cross. See, our backdrop is a candle with roses, meaning that Pascal Beverly Randolph, nobody told him you are initiated into the Rosicrucian. He initiated himself into the Rosicrucian. And this was already an established secret society. So what that tells me and what that tells us is that I'ma just not mince words. We don't need white people initiating us into their lodges or secret societies. We are the original people we know we got more magic in our fingertips than probably 50 lodges put together, but we looking for permission. And so our permission comes from spiritual divinities, ascended masters, and we are just keepers of the flame. And what we're doing with this video is sharing that flame with you guys. So open up your minds, open up your heart, ask questions, share, grow, develop, and hone your spiritual techniques. And we also, last thing, right? We also want to invite you to the Discord. The link is pinned in the YouTube comment and also in the description. Iron sharpens iron. So, we are there sharpening and we're getting more consistent with our conversations, with our understandings, but we need your help. We want people to join and people to converse and to share so we can grow and we can know. It's all about not what you know, it's who you know. And I promise you, you're in special company. So with that being said, man, I'm going to open the floor up to my guys to, share how they feel about the spiritual ongoings of the collective.
Bow. Sorry, I just had to. That's been in my head. But I just want to say that, I started doing this like journey of the studying, like as they say, the Great Awakening, right? At like around like literally 2021, right? And that's when I really got to open up my mind. Came from a family, what black family ain't praying to Jesus? So you know what I'm saying? That's what I was under, and I just wanted to understand the world. And I even remember, let me tell you something. I remember I was in a hard time, right? And I was praying. And then as I prayed, things happened for me. But it happened through a certain act, which is called devotion. And we're going to talk about that later, because that deals with the guardian angel, the emotion things that we're going to bring up. But to help you understand this spiritual matter that happens into your life, because you are a magical person. You'll bring things into your life. You'll have this type of energy in yourself that you will focus on and don't even realize what you're doing. But you just make shit happen. So don't let nobody ever tell you don't got motion. Because when I really start paying attention to my spiritual life, I realized I had motion. Can I get an Ashe?
Ashe, hallelujah.
Mama Gia.
But like, no, for real, like, cause I don't want to like put in no way.
Yes, sir.
Like,
Yes, sir. Ashe.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to give you in a real deep matter, because most of the time when we actually pay to spiritual matters or really want to look towards God in our life is when we really get our ass beat.
Right.
So I was getting my ass beat, and that's when I was like, okay, like, let me really talk to God and let me quit playing, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So how can you really get true guidance in your life? How can you really know what's right for you? Because you can't really always ask your parents. You can't really ask your best friends. Your parents can help you. They can give you guidance. They can lead you way. But like, to really know what you are here for, only you can really tell yourself. That only God can tell you. So it's going to be times where you're lost, or times where you really want to understand the phase of life that you're in. Because most people aren't lost. They're going through things, but most people don't know what phase of their life they're in. And that's the type of conversation we're going to really talk about. What aspects of spiritual gnosis.
I want to interject real quick. When you was talking, you were saying that people only deal with magic when it's some form of emergency. A good book that outlines that, like, this is a book, so whenever we talking about something, we gonna like give you the books, because the reality is we can't read the books for you. You're gonna have to spend a hot 1468. You spent 50 on the loud last weekend, so 1468 really ain't nothing.
Straight up.
I think one of the concepts, and it's so crazy, bro. Like it's as you said it, it just kind of is like the first bullet point. Stop using magic to fix emergency problems and start using it to build your dream life. Like that's the shit that we on today. And yeah, so whenever y'all say something, or if y'all need me to pull up something, just let me know. We gonna pull it up so the family can bear witness and see it, as opposed to just listening to us talk. Because sometimes the family can get lost in the words, you know. And I told these niggas to
Mhm.
don't put their video up because they too handsome and the ladies is gonna go too crazy and ain't gonna focus on the message. So I told them to have it. No, this bullshit. But yeah, man, don't do no emergency magic, man, because that emergency magic is always gonna keep you in an emergency state of mind. So let's do magic on purpose.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean to add to the conversation of current state of magic, um, beware of being prideful. You know, when you got some things going and you seeing results, um, do your best to look at situations as day one. Every day is day one. You know, every day is another day to restart. Because once you get prideful, you know what I mean, you could be dealing with completely different entities than you're calling out to. You know, a wolf in sheep clothing. You know what I mean? You could literally have a bunch of wolves in sheep clothing, and you think you out here on some shepherd shit, and really they like, oh, I'm gonna eat his toes, I'm gonna eat his arm, you know, and you end up in a in a situation like, why God? So because pride, it messes with your discernment, you know, and it puts you in a place of judging. And for the most part, we judge things we don't like for the most part. And, you know, whatever you judge and you participate in whatever it is, whether you like it or not. So I would just say beware of pride. I mean, you could really get into all the 7 deadly sins, you know what I mean? Because those are 7 deadly entities that, I mean, you devoted to one of them. I don't care who you is, you know, and it's up to you to make sure you check that shit, because you could waste a lot of time with them too. So yeah. Oh yeah, and you asked me a journal. You already journal some more? Because I know I need to.
Oh, speaking of journals,
shit, if I wasn't on here in my notebook, man.
speaking of journals, right? How can we talk about the importance of having a magical journal or just a simple grimoire or a spell book, as you would say?
Yeah. I remember we were on here talking about it, and it being like, I mean, on your journals, you know what I mean? It can be a journal that you keep for like ritual ideas. Like, have y'all ever thought about writing a script for a ritual like ahead of time? Like, I'm gonna have the light at this dimness, and I'm gonna wear this, and I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna say this at this time.
Hell yeah, I have.
You know,
I done things like that.
I think that would be like a grimoire. You know what I mean? You putting all your information in there and jotting it down. Dang, man, I feel like everything keeps segueing. So I've been working with Tahuti, despite the fact that Ra's on the avatar. But I've been working with Tahuti, and just the power of ascribing meaning to things. In your journal being that it's the meaning that you ascribe to your environment and reality. And it, all in all, I would say it helps you reference things, and it helps you build on things, and it helps you see how the meaning that you ascribe to something isn't the totality of what it is, you know, and so therefore there's no reason to really get caught up on it, on concepts. and symbols that you place on things, because at the end of the day, it's not the real thing. You know what I mean? You got a symbol that represents God, but that symbol is not God. You know, or this deity represents, you know, enlightenment, but the deity isn't enlightenment. Just basically like you gotta, you know, move past things, because once again, you can be deceived.
Yeah, because when you talk about a symbol, you're talking about a summary, but a summary for the whole story. But as we was talking earlier, you was talking about how people can like tune into different types of entities. Just think about how it's 45,000 denominations, right? And a whole bunch of different churches. You said that it's millions of entities and deities. So how do you think that they feed and live? They the division of churches and mosques, you know, and you feel like, yeah, I'm praying to one God. You don't know that. You don't know who run that church, you know? It be energies that run these churches, but even deeper, the spiritual community and this person and that person, you know, you like this person so much and you resonate with this person so much. But a lot of times, if you following somebody, I'm gonna say that they got like some form of an entity attached to it, right? You shouldn't be following. You're supposed to follow yourself.
So,
Ashe.
speaking ways of following yourself, should we get into talking about the great work? Because I feel like, and I truly understand and know, and honestly just believe that that is the first step in your magical journey, in your spiritual experience.
So you talking about magnum opus?
No, the great work of, like, you know, connecting with spirit, and then going through that emergent process. So you probably right bringing magnus opus, but
It has many names. You could be talking about the philosopher's stone at the same time.
yeah, see, magnus opus, you right. It has a whole bunch of names, because a lot, the great word, magnus opus, philosopher's stone. What's another phrase? A serpent.
The hero's journey.
Your hero's journey. The there's a thousand ways to name it, like the 72 names of God. You know, but we like, because one thing you hear recent, like you heard things like Aleister Crowley talking about it. You got people, Lion Milo Duquette, and Lion Milo Duquette introducing you to the mage Abramelin, who first discovered, who talks about the great work of talking with your holy guardian angel. It's a whole bunch of stuff, but connecting with that first is gonna have you just be in your purpose, have you walking towards what you need to do for yourself in your dreaming life. And it's an experience, because everyone's going to tell you it's an experience that's like great and powerful, but at the same time, it's like just putting on some shoes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you define your experience, but most of the times we ruin that experience trying to like be in it so hard. Type shit. It's like we try to put too much left brain into shit instead of being creative and letting it flow. You know, because when we think about even Kabbalah, that's the path, right? Going to Tiferet, going to that balance, connecting with that part. Because I feel like, can we bring up like Jehovah's name, Yahweh, real quick? Because I want to break that down and just talk about that a little simply, because that's literally like the 4 worlds of Kabbalah. Have you understand just simple stuff that's like basically Neo and Notion magic now, right? So you have Yahweh, right? Those represents the female and male aspect of us, right? And these all also represent the 4 elements of creation: earth, water, fire, and air. Did I say that already? No, I didn't.
You talking about Yod? You talking about Yod He Valhi, right? You talking about Yod He and Yod He Yod He and Val He, right?
Yes, sir.
So the vowel is the feminine, and the yod is the masculine.
Yes,
correct?
yes, because when you think about the 2 aspects, right? Because there's 4 of them, but in Tarot or other sciences, they talk about the man. You have the father and the mother, and then you have the daughter and the son, right? But the son and the daughter is really you yourself, right? How many times have you heard the story of the princess that's been asleep, right? And the king, or the prince, right? Or the bum they got in there. You know, you had a lot of people, Aladdin and all that. Anyway, my fault. That kisses her and wakes her up, and she realizes her destiny, and then she becomes the queen and he becomes the king. That is an alchemical process.
You talking about Sleeping Beauty?
Yes, sir. That's an alchemical process of you awakening yourself. So you merging with your guardian angel, the deep partner of your life, right? You gonna have your loved one, right, for sure, but your secret lover is gonna be your soul. And like merging and being aware of that is the first aspect.
Y'all ever read the Song of Solomon in the Bible, where it's like talking about all of this sexual stuff, and people like think it's like mad sexual, but really
they think it's debaucherous when it's not.
But anytime you see the woman in the Bible is talking about the soul. Anytime any woman in the Bible is talking about the soul, it's never talking about an actual woman. Anytime you see a man or a king, you're talking about the physical body. You know, but people would then try to conflate it to say like I'm like this in the Bible, or we the chosen people of the Bible, but it's like you gotta get to the metaphysics of the Bible before you can. Like it don't even make sense really a lot of times, because when you think about genetics and generations of people, like you got black family members, white family members, Chinese family members. You don't know who your ancestors was fucking 2,000 years ago. It makes no sense. But then we come to these conclusions and understandings about things that honestly they are not that. They're just confusions, because the reality is you can't be really anything but a soul. So when you get into the science of Yahweh, masculine, feminine, it's not talking about man and woman. It's talking about God is the unification of the masculine and feminine principles within yourself. Carl Jung talked about it. Like if you know, right? Like the young people say. But if you're not understanding the combination of your masculine and feminine energy, then you're gonna be lost out here.
Yeah, these are all principles. When they're talking about these things in these stories, they're like principles, like they're concepts, but they're also principle concepts that are meant to remind you on some sort of mythological and psychological level about yourself, right? Because all of these things are actually just pointing back to you. So, yeah, these 1,000 hood music is 1,000% right.
So even the concept of Yahweh, Yah being feminine, Way being masculine. This is the God of the Bible. God of the Bible, nothing but an androgynous character. So you might try to look at the physical counterparts of trying to find somebody that embody that. or you can understand it at a metaphysical level. When you start looking at this stuff metaphysically, it all makes sense and it helps you understand yourself. And at the end of the day, it is your power. If you are a woman and you only been understanding and understanding yourself as a woman, that means half of you is missing. If you are a man, you only been taught about how to be a man and be the best man you could be, that means half of you is missing. If you had half a leg, you would be walking fucked up. If you had half a arm, you couldn't do the things that a whole arm could do. So when we as spiritual beings don't understand balancing masculine and feminine energy, we are half of an individual. So it's like soul and physical, inner and outer, um,
Mm.
softness and hardness, like all of these concepts within ourselves. Like you can't just be one thing. And I think society really forces you into a corner. And as spiritual beings, I think if we sat back and really thought about it, we can see ourselves as a woman. We can see ourselves as a man. We have an ideal version of these aspects within us. We just need to flesh these out and like really probe them. And that's part of the spiritual work. Like imagine yourself being loved by a woman in the ways that the actual woman could never love you, but at the same time, you're still getting that love. And then you thinking like actual girl, you just gonna just love her and like be good to her. Because you're not requiring her to love you supernaturally because you already understand that love is within yourself. And I talk to people don't really get that.
Mhm.
Pride comes before the fall.
You know, a lot of it has its hang-ups around, you know, the reluctancy on some people's part to speak on the whole gender dynamics that play on both sides and on all sides. So like it's super weird when you start to inject that into it as well. So um yeah.
So pride, haughtiness, boastfulness, arrogance, conceit, tide, boom, high tide, pride, swelling, majesty.
Yo, Breeze,
Majesty, huh?
can you like really like make a little like just talk about like why pride can like really fuck up like
And really, when you think about it, magicians should never be prideful. Like that doesn't even
Yeah.
make sense. That's like an oxymoron to begin with. When you think about it, how could a
Mhm.
magician be prideful? Right? Like
Having
your shit
having the
is
air of
is
conceit.
is based off the unseen, and like no, like that doesn't make any sense. A magician being prideful, what? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the word
You know what I'm
that's
saying? Like
kind of
if you
wild to
learn
me.
a little bit of shit and you think you hide shit because other people around you don't know this shit, like, or you might be manipulating a couple of people. Like, if that's your whole spiel, oh yeah, those things come back to you. Like with this whole show, they've been talking about what they've been describing as called consequence spirituality. Like there was a consequence to your spirituality. You know? Like
Mhm.
you
Uh,
depending on your level of consistency and your repetition and you know how much you embark on this thing, yeah. Even if you're doing your little money spell for like 2 weeks and you stop for the rest of your life, like all of these things have consequences. Like people have no idea what doors they be opening, what gates they be walking through, and you know what entities they be letting in. Like people have no clue. You know, that's one of those same thing, make you laugh, make you cry type deal. You know, like it's this is really not for the father. It's really not to be played with, right? Like you should treat this as sacred as you would going to church. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't curse and smoke your weed in church, right? Like don't do that with your spirituality. Like you know what I'm saying? Like just keep it a buck with your spirituality. You don't got to lie to kick it, is what I'm saying with your spirituality. And if you in any realm of possibility where you at a level of feeling prideful about some spirituality, then you totally missed the fucking boat. Like that don't even make sense to me. Pride? What?
I think it comes from like looking at other people and having an envious heart and a jealous heart, and then also looking at people as if like they have reached some level of spiritual mastery, and then like feeling bad within ourselves to say, man, I need to up my game or I need to step my game up and shit like that. And then either you do or you don't. But at the end of the day, like you are where you are for a reason, right? And once you get to a certain point of life to realize like if it ain't working out for you, it's your habits, it's the way that you thinking, it's the way that you going about life. And if you like waiting for something to happen, like that's so amazing as far as this spirituality comes, you're gonna waste a lot of time really fucking it up because really it's an energetic thing. And that energetic thing happens moment to moment to moment to moment basis, meaning that you could be doing the most craziest, dopest spiritual shit in the world and then start fucking with a nigga and cancel Christmas. You understand what I'm saying? Like your mood is fucked up. Your mood is fucked up. So at the end of the day, I was listening to this and I was going to this lecture and I know all of this. I was fucking with an ain't shit nigga. I know plenty of wonderful spiritual women that fuck with ancient niggas, and that was the story of it. You know, not the wonderful spiritual things that they did. So pride is extremely dangerous on any level when you're not even understanding the energetic realities of life. We tolerate so much of things like if you dealing with a person that you don't it came out to be that they was an ancient person, that's a reflection of your energy at the time. You know what I mean? Maybe you have grown and developed to a certain point, at a certain point, like you're like better now, but at a certain point, you was really ain't shit too, right? That person is a reflection of that. And so this spiritual shit, all of the information is not going to make you a better person. As much as we're talking, as much as I've talked, as much as anybody can talk, as much as you listen, none of it is going to make you a better person. The like the concepts such as sincerity, being present, concentrate and focus, none of that is in reference to pride. When you talk about magical work, your ability to concentrate and focus on a particular symbol, to like really get out of your conscious mind into your altered state of consciousness is the end all be all. But if you worried about your money, your relationship, all of that shit, it's going to be so hard to create the gnosis necessary to do real magic. So pride and this ego shit and how it's just invaded the conscious community, like through influencers and Instagram and TikTok, it has really fucked up people's brains, you know, when it comes to this magical shit. Because a nigga right now don't know shit about shit, but they got 400,000 subscribers and you can't tell them shit, right? And because they got these subscribers, you as the most powerful motherfucker on earth might be like, damn, why I don't got my subscribers up? As if that references your magical ability. Our mind is really fucked up when it comes to this shit, bro.
Yeah, the process is totally backwards. Like it like you get judged off a picture like immediately. So yeah,
Can
everything is
we
backwards.
can we talk about what you're really supposed to have? And can you type it in hood on etymology real quick? And it's confidence. Because instead of pride, you really need confidence. Especially if if you one of those people who open about your life, or you trying to talk about your spiritual experience and you want to start a YouTube or anything, you need to have confidence. You need to confide in yourself. You need to trust in yourself. Because there's gonna be people out there gonna make you feel some type of ways, judging you, putting words to your image when they don't even know you. Because when you have confidence, people won't confuse it with pride. They never gonna say you prideful when you have confidence. Because they gonna see it and they gonna feel it and they gonna see it in your actions.
That makes me think about just like a disposition that one would have where you people see confidence in you, but they never tell you like they see it in you. So what that looks like for a spiritual being, nobody is helping you, right? Nobody is giving you a helping hand. Nobody is like making sure you good. The reasons why is because you come across as confident, meaning you trust that like your disposition, your energy, you trust in the future, you trust in the now. But if you can transfer that into your spiritual working, like part of this like stuff of like doing spells and doing rituals is people want and shit. Well, to want something is not to have full trust or reliance on it. You it's the opposite. So if you do a spell for a car, you want a car, it's hard for it to manifest versus to know the spell to do and to have full trust in your magic and knowing that what you're doing is going to manifest into what you truly want. You don't want something through the ritual because the ritual and the manifestation are the same thing. Your disposition, your mood, your energy, like people would then say like, well, I need to do magic for a long time for it to work, but that's not necessarily true. You just need to feel good while you do the work because you done magic when you was 12 and 16. Magical shit has happened to you like a fucking serendipitous moment where you feeling good and just this, a girl you like or somebody just come out the blue or you just having a great day. That's magical, but that's because your frequency is high and you feel great, meaning you trust the overall future of the situation. Now, if something happens to throw you off, you got to recalibrate. But ultimately, this is a feeling game, not I got 5 million subscribers, I'm better than you get. So, and looking at niggas that got 5 million subscribers is going to make you generally feel bad if you got two, right? And you want 5 million. But you got to really look at where you're at and figure out how to enhance your mood. Like, can you learn how to feel good? That's the biggest magical thing. Because when you take that primal pure energy into rituals, the manifestations is just like right there. It's palpable.
Yeah, that's like the difference between the people that say affirmations and have said affirmations every day for the last few years and nothing has changed versus the people who actually believe what it is that they are saying when they speak these affirmations, right? Like, and they actually manifest these things because they've actually manifested the feeling that it would feel like to have these things, right? Like, if you have people that say affirmations all the time and never change anything, Right?
You would have to put some
They don't have
effort in. You
they
can't just
haven't
say
they haven't really considered the feeling that goes with it. You know what I'm saying, right?
right.
It's like praying. You can pray, but at the end of the day, you still gotta do your part.
And really, that's what it is. You got to put the work in. You got to put the effort in. We haven't really talked about the astrology chart at all. I think we should bring that up because that really is the energy. Like we're headed into one of the most important solar eclipses. I've been looking up stuff about this solar eclipse, and I heard that it's going to be more powerful than the one on 2000, the one that happened in 2017, right? And it's going to be in North America, so people in North America is going to be able to see it. Greece said he's going to be on his front porch with the lawn chairs
Yeah.
right over Cleveland. This energy is big, and I think like us having these conversations and talking about the chart can only assist the family in these days to come.
So my first thing is, we really want to pay attention to astrology because it's crazy how we're talking about this solar eclipse and everybody gonna be paying attention to it, but don't nobody care about astrology. Would you say like that's a ritual in itself?
Yeah, that's pretty deep. That people it didn't matter when it didn't matter, but now all of a sudden it matters. And it's just like, man, it feel like the world is really trolling right now because it's like, why do y'all care about astrology? Because it's a solar eclipse. And then y'all just kind of shit on the science because all y'all doing is like putting fear in the game. And we've been studying these charts for years, and just like, people can reference certain energies and understand their charts because we consistently talk about, different things in reference to the chart. You feel me? And the nigga just come nowhere talking about April 8th is going to be a crazy time and da 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 because of the astrology. Nigga, wasn't you like, hunting deer or something last year? Like, talk about whatever you're talking about before the solar eclipse and let us continue to talk about it and study these charts because even with all that being said, it's one of the weirdest charts that I've ever seen. Like if you look up the April 8th chart, it's literally no transits except conjunctions. You got Venus and Neptune, Jupiter, Uranus, the sun and the moon, and Chiron is conjunct exact to the sun and the moon. Like it is some of the weirdest Mars and Saturn. It is some of the weird, and it's like no trines, no square, no sextiles. It's like the time in the chart where it's just no energy circulating whatsoever. And then we have this great solar eclipse. So I'm like, yeah, let's tap into some of our ancestral energy. Let's tap in some of these Akashic records. Let's not deal with the fear mongering because even if the government is planning the wildest shit that we ever could imagine, what the fuck we gonna do about it? We gonna stop the government? Like,
Hey man, and what's crazy about this solar eclipse, and like when we looking at this chart,
Niggas done had the government address for mad long, still ain't full up, bro. They still ain't full up.
You ready to talk when we get into the Great Race, Breeze?
What race?
Remember the Great Race? We was talking about how the planets, how they're all aligned.
Oh yeah. I mean, so with this chart, is this April 8th right here?
no, this not April 8th. This today.
Okay.
I can bring up April 8th though.
So you remember in Hercules, right? First, the best way to understand astrology and stuff is looking at mythical stories, because that's back then that's ancient astronomy. So you guys remember the story with Zeus when he sealed away the Titans in Tartarus, and for them to be released, they needed Zeus's thunderbolt and all the planets to align with each other. So like, what I'm saying with that, like how all these planets align, we just had Big Bro talk about it's gonna be all conjunctions. So like with the conjunction, like what is a conjunction? What's y'all thoughts about conjunctions? Because I feel like having that explained to the people, because most people don't know a lot about astrology aspects, and I know we got our advanced people in there who know all about it. But we just like branch over real quick. What is a conjunction and what it can do for all these planets right now?
I always think about the famous chocolate milk analogy. You got Jupiter conjunct Uranus, and that's a completely different energy than just those standing alone. And it kind of speaks to like the dawn of a new age, but it ain't no it's like kick in the door, waving the 4-4. You know, like it's, if you're not ready, you better get ready. You know what I mean? Like it's no Jupiter conjunct Uranus is like, there's no waiting up on you. You can either get left, or you can either rush, or you could have been ready. And ain't no way around, and ain't no reasoning with it. And it's like that conjunction is ahead of everything. And I feel like it's, you know, trusting the future, having that confidence about what's coming for you, you know, because that conjunction is happening in what's that, 2, 3, 4 wands, you know, which would, I mean, be a card that'll represent like the law of attraction, you know. But having that confidence, you know, because everything is in Pisces. This is like deep emotional work. This is like what's hidden within you, you know, things that you don't even really know about yourself. And having that eclipse, you know, this is literally the moon is dominant. You know, the emotions are dominant. But yeah, like the sun, Mercury, and Chiron and the moon is all in the same place. Man, that just looked like literally Hermes is going down the haze and bringing all your trauma, transgenerational trauma, and then giving you a shot to deal with it, giving you a shot to alchemize it. Because you got Jupiter and Uranus ahead, and they clearing the path, like they're getting ready for you to do your alchemy for that future. If this is making sense, but it's a lot of other stuff. You got Mars back there, you know, Mars conjunct Saturn back there.
So with that Mars and Saturn, right? With the Saturn and Aquarius, you know, if you've been keeping up with the astrology forecast, is about really diving into something new, learning something new. So with that Mars energy in there, if you could break into that, you can just see the starting of you really going with that activity, or you in it now and you immersed in it. And then you met a team and group too. And you know, it's crazy how Hood just pulled it up. Pisces, right? However, just send initial impulse, rid of your negative thought. Another way to think about the 12th house or the house of Pisces is the house of undoing. So, I mean, a house of unself-doing, right? So, Breeze just talk about you got all this trauma that's bringing along. So, if you're not handling your trauma or haven't been dealing with it, it's probably beating your ass, you know? And then if you have been dealing with your trauma and dealing with the self within, you uncovering and you peeling the onions back and the layers back, and you just like, whoa, I can really bring this into my life right now by just starting with the small steps. because we stepping into spring.
But hold on though, because like it's one thing, but then it's a whole nother thing. Because people will hear that and they'll be like, okay, but you got to really think about it. Like people think they so conscious with everything. They think they make decisions rationally and logically and intelligently. And the reality is, no, the fuck you don't. You make decisions emotionally. You have a limbic system, right? And your limbic system is like how you feel. It is your true feelings in the world. So a lot of people go to work, and really have to subdue a lot of shit. Some people have good jobs, like Breeze, he an engineer. He different with it. You know what I'm saying? Like most people don't they work in a fucking factory or at Burger King or some weird shit like that, and so more or less they don't want to be there. They're not getting paid enough. And not getting paid enough. And you a human being, you got these desires, water and sex, right? You should be, getting cracked or cracking something 3 times a day. You're supposed to be, enjoying life for real. And you would have to think, why you not getting cracked 3 times a day? Think about it. Like, why you not getting like honey put on you and having your partner it off? Why you not really getting into the bliss of life? It's your emotions. You afraid you could get a nigga on Tinder tonight to do something freaky, but you afraid of getting your heart broken. And I ain't saying that's what you should do, but I'm saying it is real emotions that's blocking you from life. Because people can't even relate and deal with nobody because people, one, think they so smart. But if I start talking real shit to you right now, you gonna beat me up. But when you found love, and you can speak real shit to your partner, and they just like, that's interesting. You know what? You so funny. I love the way you think. But the next girl or the next man, he be ready to throw blows to you. So, like, if you can be honest with somebody, like deeply honest with somebody, that don't provoke rage or fear, that's your emotions, But how in tune are you with that part of your life? Like, especially when you're doing magic. Because, like I said, it's a feeling game. But if you working, and you're not really getting no love, like you're not really getting no love for real, your emotions is out of whack. And you probably got all the money in the world. But I'm telling you, money is a game changer. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say on this.
Agreed. With the could you go back to the chart? With the Mars and the Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, this right here, it makes me think of like you can either be like getting your head whooped by AI and social media right now, or you could be learning your technology. And what's your technology? Your spiritual powers. You know what I mean? Really getting to the limits of your abilities, and understanding, how you could constructively work better towards something. So you could be judging yourself for not being whatever the fuck you think you're supposed to be, or you could be looking at it, looking at the situation as, what do I know? What can I add to what I know? Because Saturn does have a lot of negative connotations, but I don't really look at it as negative. Once you at your limits, how further you can go. You can address not inadequacies, but you can address, just getting better. You know what I mean? Saturn is really like the planet of like, this is how you can get better. Or better yet, this is where you at right now. And and from knowing where you at and being truthful about it, I think you should know the next step. And Neptune just got into Pisces, so it's kind of like, man, you really gotta be doing some type of work on yourself.
How you gonna get through the glamour?
Yeah, like something is going on. Like you either experiencing something that you don't like, or you trying to work through it.
Right. You know, speaking of glamour, Maya and Illusion.
We're not trying to work through it though. I'm gonna just put that out there. People is really
people not trying to work through it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they is not doing that. But go ahead.
They want to run it hard.
And they act like if they don't deal with it, it don't matter. Type shit.
I mean, but that's why, like, I think that's why this eclipse happening in Pisces, because it's like what you said. I agree. People think that, but like this eclipse is like, nah. Let me show you. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Like they're saying the freaks come out at night, and you literally having a moment during the day where it turned to night.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, that's crazy. Like your consciousness really just black out for a second.
Yeah, it's going to be long. It's going to be like
the sky is going into a trance. Or do I sound crazy? It's like nature is going into some type of trance.
But all crazy. Of it, you know, Jesus, when he died, they say it was an eclipse, and then Tecumseh, he had his world famous eclipse. It's all tied into like these same like world changing events. The end of Apocalypto was by an eclipse. So like in our psyche, I feel that human beings are relating the eclipse to something cataclysmic, and I don't think people is wrong. I think like we are dealing with a major shift, and the astrology is kind of letting people know. But exactly what it is and how we could, you know, move forward, I think is basically based on the individual's emotional in their limbic system, their fight or flight. You know, this is everybody has a limbic system.
Yeah.
My thing is, it's like, what are some ways like you can like just like get through the glamour? Like the small steps of this shit.
We gonna have to like at some point identify what glamour is, some form of like spiritual definition. I try to pull some up so we can like. I don't think people would immediately understand what's being stated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In one way, you could say glamour is glamour is a function of pride. It's like trusting what you see and not what you feel.
I think a way that we can actually get through glamour is having your own grimoire. Ironically, we was talking about grimoires earlier, but let's look up the etymology of glamour, and you have the English grammar, right? But if you look at the word grammar, what you gonna get? Grammaire or grimoire, right? You know, so glamour is magic and enchantment within itself, but I feel like it's not the magic, the good magic. It's the she looks so good, I want to marry her magic.
And if you remember Pride, it said like love of a showcase. You know what I mean? Like a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
That was like
enchantment.
Pride.
Enchantment was like a seducer.
And it was like majesty, which is like literally like enchantment and things like that. It's like Disney. It's like Disney.
Imagine glamour like on Disney stories.
Yeah. It's almost like it's giving a definition to spirit, you know, that's not true. Maybe glamour is an entity that's just like You know what I mean? Let me absorb these let me absorb these people energy. You know, they think they dealing with Jesus, but you know, I just wanted some attention. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, enchantment is a part of seduction. So,
Can you? Would you say basically you have to chant yourself then, or somebody gonna be a chant to you?
For the most part, you know, most
Yeah,
people
that's
out here is following somebody, you know, like absorbing other people's magic, you know, when they got their own magic. So it's like, you know, glamour comes from emotions, and it's just like these particular ideologies that we are following. And if we don't live up to them, we're going to feel bad. That's glamour, you know, like it ain't no real thing that you need to be doing for real. If you really sat and thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you hold it against yourself, that's on you.
So, can we talk about the type of relationship that you should be building with yourself, right? Because we talked about sincere, we talked about glamour, right? We got some more stuff. But after that, right after we get done reading this, let's pull up devotion.
See, Mad Titan comment. Yeah. Diddy is glamour. I agree.
Diddy is glamour. He's the embodiment.
See where it got him. Yep.
Diddy is the epitome of glamour.
Yep.
Glamour is the aggregate of emotional reactions. So all of your emotional reactions, things that you look at and feel emotional to, is glamour, according to Zachary style.
Wow.
Glamour is treacherous, blundering, and boastful. So glamour and pride, these was the same kind of definition. Illusion gives glamour its power of deception and controls the personality via glamour. It makes glamour the authority for judging whatever is perceived. So you're thinking like, this is how I feel, this is right and exact, but actually it's complete and total bullshit. If you can't come to that realization, then glamour overall is going to run your life, because you're not actually engaging in the world. You have like a buffer that's like, once you get to a filling place, you're going to retreat. You know what I mean? So glamour is like the world. Think about the last time you done kicked it with some foreigners. Like they just invited you in their house and said, "This is a cool black guy. We about to eat some fucking traditional food with them and tell them about."
That was me in college.
Kids, when you was not really a threat, right? As a man, get like a grown ass man, people don't be inviting you in your house now.
yeah, hell no.
Unless it's your people, you know. But that's glamour that keeps a buffer between cultures. This is America, the melting pot. Cap.
Yep.
It's motherfuckers that don't even fuck with their own family for real. So you know, it's a lot of people that's single and alone, bro. You would be surprised, bro, how many people is disconnected from family altogether. And all of this is glamour. It's a boundary. We all in this bitch together, but we have certain distances from each other. That's fucked up. Everybody in the world supposed to be taken care of because we exist in life and we're God's children. But glamour will have niggas up here, niggas right here, down there, niggas over here, like in all different classes and states of minds. That's glamour. Crazy. And how you gonna do magic if you thinking like, oh, I need to be in a different glamour?
Right. Oh man.
It's crazy.
What was that Fergie song? The glamorous.
Glamorous.
First class.
Yeah, up in the sky. Oh, that's how people be when they doing their rituals. I want to fly first class up in the sky, sipping champagne, living a life.
Like, come on, that's not even a nigga's reality. Look at Diddy. Look at Diddy.
Oh man.
Diddy should have been working on remixes. This nigga was trying to live a glamorous life. If he just worked on music, he would have never been in no trouble. But everybody wanted to talk about a Diddy party. Think about it. The glamorous life. You know? Bill Cosby loved going to them parties and giving girls.
Man.
He could have just been working on this comedy. If he just did nothing but comedy, all these niggas get fucked up at these parties. Think about Meg and Tory. They was at a party. Left the party. Hopefully their life changes. Tory Lanez could have been working on songs.
Mm-hmm. Both of them.
In the studio with security. Don't let nobody that's bringing trouble in this goddamn booth. We about to do nothing but positive energy and make music. And nobody would have said nothing. New Tory Lanez album came out. He's singing gospel, but it's hard. Crazy. Album ever. But now you in jail because you went to a party. So you know it ain't the artist, it's the things you do. But we talking about emotions and think about devotion, profound religious emotion. This is what I'm talking about when you dealing with your soul. You know you're dealing with your soul by how you feel, right? How you feel. Profound religious emotion unto yourself, I would say. Not going to no church or listening to no spiritual person. Like you doing your spiritual work and you want to cry because it feels so good to be tapped in with your guardian angel.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the type of like work you gotta like really do to be right. Because just as much you think you need your spirit needs you just much more. And if you understand that concept, you could be living in that in a simple way. All right. And we told you about devotion through countless things, altar work, journaling. So it's just like y'all ever heard of like something that's so simple could be something that's so hard to do?
Mm-hmm.
You was talking about solutions. One of the most profound things I did recently was write a letter to myself in my divine feminine. Like I just said things that I always wanted women to speak to me. And once I did this exercise, I was relieved of all the energy I was feeling from wanting to receive it from other people. So, you know, that within itself was profound to me because it felt good to hear the words that I wanted to hear, you know, and not put it off on somebody. Hope they read my mind.
Right. I like that. The idea. I don't know why, like I'm in a jukebox state of mind, made me think of the Earth, Wind, and Fire song, Devotion. Listen to that as soon as you get up in the morning. Probably you cry.
Yeah.
Probably you cry. Read the lyrics too. Yeah, just being devoted to what you're doing, you know what I mean? Because it's almost like the medicine for Glamour. And I think that's why a lot of religious people, even though spiritual folks say a lot of crazy shit about religious people, those religious people are well off than them.
Man, you ain't never lied.
Religious people are doing very well. Have you ever met just like an old lady that go to church all the time? As opposed to
a pastor in real life. Them niggas
in real life.
Man, them niggas is like awe-inspired. They make you feel like you need to do better with your life. Like
literally, they literally on some Jupiter shit. You know what I mean?
They on some different type of shit for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I mean, then you just look at little things in society, how churches don't pay taxes. You know what I mean? Like, there is so many benefits. I mean, that might be a reason why there's so many, on the planet. But not to go off on a tangent, I think that devotion is definitely, the medicine for glamour.
I think so too.
It make you stop paying attention to glamour. You know what I mean? The whole point of it is not to indulge in glamour. I think you only should use glamour as you see fit, not to use it as a crutch or use it as something that you just. It's almost like prescription drugs. Like, you can abuse the fuck out of them things.
Molly Percocet.
Yeah, or you can use it for its intended purpose. And I think that brings to the question, like, what is the purpose of glamour? And why did we choose to be in an experience where, it's such a powerful illusion?
Mm-hmm. A deep. I mean, but in the reality, when you talk about the solution, I think like the problem that pulls you away, it's almost like I don't even feel of it being the opposite. I just feel like glamour is like a retardation or a misfire with the machine. Like somewhere along the way, like it's a kink in the armor type shit. Because the reality of dealing with your soul and feeling the energy, like I'm gonna tell you, like when you get glimpses of your soul, like when you find the dragon within and that heat is swirling around you and you feel the heat of your soul, like the thing that's heating your body up right now. They say when you die, what's they say, man, he cold. The heat has body, you are heat, you pure energy heat. When you feel that through meditation and deep spiritual work, when you find a zone where you just in an altered state of consciousness that you can begin to view beyond the veil, and whatever it takes to get there, you get there, you feel yourself, you gonna break down in tears. You can't help but to break down in tears because you feel good, man. You feel amazing. You as an entity, like when your partner, you can't experience yourself. Your partner can experience you, but sometimes they take it away from you. Some partners let you know, like, man, you an amazing lover, or you make me feel good, or your energy. It's something about your energy, like I love you, man, or whatever. They feeling you. You don't feel yourself. So that's really the disconnect. But spiritual work is not for you to have clout on TikTok, or it's so you feel yourself, a profound religious emotion unto yourself. You have that ability. I'm not even telling y'all nothing that I haven't experienced for myself. That's how I know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Because I've literally experienced myself to be like, break it down in tears, like, oh, I'm not out here lost for real. I have an energy about, and we all have this energy about, I feel like I'm not even the one for real. I feel like I'm a mild case. I feel like we all have the ability to tune into ourselves, not to manifest shit in this world. Like that's where motherfuckers are gonna get fucking hammered.
It's almost like,
Go ahead.
yeah, it's almost like Glamour. So I mean, okay, so Glamour could be called a matrix, and it's kind of like everybody just uploading shit to the matrix. You know, like you saying, like maybe it's just something that's there. You know what I mean? And it's not as pervading as we say it is. You know what I mean? It's just that's what we choose to give our attention to. So that's what, you know, that's all that there is, because that's all we give our attention to.
I would deduce
yeah.
anything that we pay attention to other than our soul to be considered as glamour. Because we will easily think that we're doing something good, but we're not having a profound religious experience unto ourselves. We're trying to figure it out in the matrix through the multiples of uploads. Think about how many uploads it is in the world.
Per second, nigga.
I mean, you got a phone? Like,
not even on the internet. Just like a house could be an upload. Grass, like cell phone towers, like skyscrapers, street names. Everything is an upload. How many uploads is in the world? Like, why wouldn't you the nigga that's like printing street signs? Like, why wasn't you that guy? There's just so many things you could do in the matrix that none of it is
okay.
It's all glamour. The only thing that is devotion is a profound religious emotion. And that's like when you at church and you feel God, bro, and you just break down into tears. Like, cause you just, it's like, oh fuck, this feeling is better than anything that I could ever try to accomplish in life. And the only way I can feel this is if I do the work, the inner work. So it's like, that's what we need to get to. But motherfuckers is, as soon as we get off this live, it's going to be a nigga trying to sell you something. I'm going to just say one more thing and I'm going to shut up. But it was this video me and my girl was watching, and it was this guy that was like, what did you do to get rich? I'm thinking this nigga going to say tech or stocks or crypto. He said, man, honestly, you need to have a relationship with God. Because on your road to riches, it's going to be times where you don't have it. And the only thing that's going to keep you going is having a relationship with God. So that's what I would tell anybody. If you want to be rich, have a relationship with God. And I was like, damn, I never heard nobody say that. I swear he was going to say like Forex or some shit like that. He said relationship with God. And I'm like, I was really thinking he was going to say something completely different. I was like, man, that's really surprising. But it makes me think about devotion and getting everything you want out of life.
Shay.
No, I say like real talk. Like that's just the key to like when you wake up in the morning, you know what to do. Like off the muscle. Like go to bed. If you went to bed early so you have time in the morning, off the muscle, you living righteous.
And if we're going to talk about Yahweh, right, the combination of masculine and feminine, you know, you might need to get cracked or do some cracking from time to time.
Hey.
Emotion, you know?
Talking about being one.
I'm saying. I'm just being honest.
I feel like that's one aspect like people never.
It's a good time for it too.
Spirituality and sex. How they like one and the same.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, but like it's so much glamour around sex. that is like, it's hard to give people that type of information. You know what I mean? To really, and I mean, sometimes it might even be hard for somebody to share that information because there's so much glamour behind that. I mean, yeah, man. See, that's a whole nother video.
Something to tackle though,
Yeah.
the whole spectrum of it, because man,
The
at the end of the
glamour.
day, I feel like a nuclear bomb went off between black men and women, and the residuals is these future generations of people. Like I grew up without cell phones, so I played house, and it was you had to talk to girls, and girls was ready to receive the energy that you was giving. Now everybody online, and you gotta date online. 90% of relationships now is happening online, so that's very unfortunate for a lot of people, because I done seen some of y'all IGs. None of y'all taking top-notch photos, to reel a bitch in. Y'all ain't, man, I seen some niggas on these girls' IGs, like these niggas be having like finger waves and glasses that match their outfits, nigga. You don't stand a chance. Niggas be wearing brown leather jackets, fabrics from Italy, nigga. You ain't about to get nothing online. Like
all you see is Dior, Balmain, like
20 ball mains and Montclairs. And Montclair's like 2,000, nigga. You be like, oh, you don't have it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got it like that. So the internet is not for regular niggas. It used to be a time. And it's not like that no more. So, this glamour and sex and online is doing and we just having a conversation online. In real life, it is impacting millions of people as we speak, loveless individuals, because we can't really conjure the devotion within ourselves. So I mean, you can try online or you can go within. I would suggest going within personally.
That speaks to the Mars conjunct Saturn in Aquarius.
Yeah, you was talking about that.
Yeah, getting your head whooped by
the AI. It's crazy.
I think about
it's going into the third deacon, which is the Seven of Swords. And I ain't even gonna say it. Go find that card. Y'all listening to this, go find that card. You should know Seven of Swords.
Futility.
You should know. You should know that card.
It's the most infamous part of that deck. Like when you put the Seven of Swords, you like, I don't know.
All right, it's like Beyonce on Karma.
You like, fuck.
It's either that or the Three of Swords, and I'm just like, man, can we just reshuffle? I wasn't looking for these cards.
Yeah.
he gave me a reading and pulled the Seven of Swords time out.
Listen, I'm gonna start reading with Oracle decks because I'm keep pulling the Three of Swords. I know Oracle decks is more of like we can make it up as we go, so it's like no bad cards. So let me just deal. Let me pick up the Oracle real quick because at least I know you can make it up because there's only gonna be good cards in there.
And then think about, you had talked about Aquarius, right? What major arcana card governs Aquarius? The star. And it's like, and the Hebrew letter for Aquarius is Hey. So it's just like when you think about that, all we've been talking about, everybody, is how they a piece of the micro and macrocosm. So it's like the real goal is like, if you see how you a star and you see these transits happening, like Bree said, you really gonna type into your spiritual technology.
It's like Earth, Wind, and Fire said, when you wish upon a star, your dreams will take you very far. But when you wish upon a dream, life ain't always what it seems. Man, that's a whole playlist. What was the other song?
Devotion.
Devotion by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Imagination. You gotta throw that in there.
Man, go get the Earth, Wind, and Fire album Spirit, man. Go in and stream that. Extreme shining star in the morning.
So we could go into many different levels with this conversation, right? Every man and every woman is a star. But there's also something within our spinal cord called astrocytes, right? Which is the microcosm, okay? This is real life science. Astrocytes are a subtype glial cell that make up the majority of cells in the human central nervous system. Okay, guys, what is our life going to be without our central nervous system? Let's imagine it, okay? I want you to imagine what your life going to be without your central.
Man.
Your central nervous system, majority of the cells are astrocytes. Now, do we need to do an etymology on astrocytes? Let's do it anyway, because we can be crazy people. The name astrocyte, astron, meaning a star, means hollow vessel, later a cell, thus star-like cell that make up a majority of your central nervous system. So I'm telling you, every motor psychic function that you love about yourself is completely related to a star being. So Aquarius energy is like guardian angel, right? You really need to open your mind to how powerful you can be. Like, you really need to open your mind, because I'm not making none of this shit up. Y'all can bear witness to this shit. So, yeah, like, I was just going through this star card in reference to the Aquarius energy. He was dropping on that. He was talking about tree of life stuff, and people like, hey, what you mean, hey? Like, hey, in the barnyard? All right. The star tarot card Aquarius is associated with the letter hey, which means window. A window's main function, and this is why I be talking about God in a real clear way, so you don't be confused about it, because we can all bear witness to a window. God is like a window. A window's main function is to transmit light so we can see, in the same way of the essence of the star is to let us know we are transmitters of light on all levels to both our life and the world around us. It may take form of just providing support and daily inspiration to others, or more directly in the form of spiritual illumination as we allow the divine to flow through us. Very basic shit, guys. But yeah, AD was dropping, so I had to kind of illuminate what he was talking about.
Not for real, like Hood said earlier, as we talking to y'all, we actually want to bring it up, show you the information, show where you can research, because it's just so easy just to get to, like, you know, to get to talking like you on 8 Mile. Here we are with a blue block. You know, so
spaghetti.
You know what I'm saying?
Yapping.
Yeah. You know, and then look at that symbol, bro. Like, you can really fit that whole entire symbol on a tree of life, and that can really represent your body. Like, Christ's body is literally like a star. When he's on the cross, he's spread out. Even what's the picture that Da Vinci's picture of the human?
Venturi, man.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know.
We was talking about this earlier, but we wasn't relating it to Aquarius, or we wasn't relating it to the star, but we brought up this concept. So once again, I don't live in a world of coincidences. I live in a world of channel. So you got to really do your mathematics with this. What's the chances of we bringing up this concept, study a whole other concept, that's completely related to an original concept. So really, God is within you, and this is something that we can't forget, and we need to tell people every day. You need to tell somebody every day that God is within you, because as quickly as you forget, it's just the same way as you trying to see and your light cut off. If you want to see and your light cut off, you ain't say, "Well, I cut my light on a month ago. I don't need it today." No, you gonna cut that light on when you need to see, and you need to be reminded now that God lives within you. If you can bear witness to this symbol, and maybe you don't understand it. But people say God, Yahweh, Jehovah all the time, but they're talking about you, nigga. Devotion, earth, wind, and fire, the elements, all of the things that people have already said, but it's like coming together. You got to understand channel and spiritualism as Black people, and we need not talk about, Diddy is glamour, right? The conversation that we're having is not a glamorous one. I see Black men talk about sports and what's happening between men and women all day, every day. But we really trying to come with a concise and clear message about the God that's within you, and not as an intellectual concept. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel God within you. That's my challenge to anybody listening, the panel, like, understand and overstand this is not a game, and the spiritual nature within you is a very powerful thing that shouldn't be deprioritized or forgotten. So, the great mother or daughter of the princess. It's like, hey, feminine letter.
When you get a chance to, bro, you want to go back up to the Tree of Life? So when you see it, right, let's start from the bottom, right? So the princess, and they all represent metaphysical elements, right? So Malkuth, that's where the princess resides. So that's Earth, right? And then as we go up, we got the prince stored in Tipreth. And then where will be the father and the mother be? They'll be above the abyss in the supernatural triangle above in Benai and Chokma. Right? So am I spitting like something like that's hard to understand, Hood, or am I like trying to break down something where it could be broken into a concept where people can study?
I mean, you got to just keep elucidating, and you got to think about the definition of the word that you're using. So you might understand Bana, but the casual listener has no clue what Bana is. So Bana, in a more common term, should be followed by the statement, so it'd be more relatable and palatable. Because the same way as you can bear witness to your great 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 grandmother looking over the family in this moment, you can bear witness to Bana or Saturn, and great great grandfather looking down on the family. You can bear witness to Chokma, and the culmination of those energies, which created the soul of the family or the soul of the community, whatever you belong to, it's looking down on everybody. When you look at like Breeze's family, like that family is in Cleveland, but it's a family that has been blessed by their ancestors. We can bear witness to that, and you can relate. It's still Bana, Chokma, and Kether. But Kether is Malkuth. Father is the son. The son will be the father one day. The father will one day be the son again. It's like a circle. It's something that we can bear witness to, but There's so many different words covering it that people might think you talking mumbo jumbo, when really you taking real science to it. So but you just gotta explain it with the definition associated with the word, and that way it will resonate deeper with people and yourself as well, because you can follow and keep up with yourself.
Right, right.
The Kabbalah is like a network, so it's a lot of different places you could be, but it's not really truly a place to be on it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, where do you fall at a certain point in time? You could really be on your choke line. That symbol there is Neptune, so you can really be in your spiritual bag. You can be really in your shadow working bag, and being that it's in the tree of life, is dealing with like higher emotions, and then I'm looking at the star card connected to the sun. It's literally the bridge of your consciousness to spirit. Literally, the star card, what's up in the sky, is like that bridge between, or literally there's the bridge between the feminine aspect and the masculine aspect. Like Neptune is like, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but Neptune is like Olokun, and the sun is like Shango in a way. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that warrior still doing his, still taking a bath and still moisturizing his elbows and shit. You know what I mean? Feeling good about himself before he has to go out and do some difficult things. That's what I would say about like the star card and like what is speaking about, like where it's at on the Kabbalah. Because another thing with the Kabbalah, we know what all these things mean. It's just a matter of now putting it all together. You know what I mean? You can think of a character in your favorite TV show, but you don't really understand that character, until you make point of the reality that character is in, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? We could talk about Saturn all day, but until we talk about like, the role or the place Saturn is in the hierarchy, as it relates to, planets after it, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, as well as, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, and, the other ones. It's kind of like context clues, you know what I mean? Like, or the saying like, you can't study something in a vacuum. Like, you can't just learn how to add without understanding, okay, if I go to the store and I spend $50 on something that's 20, I'm supposed to get $30 back. It's kind of like one of those things, understanding like how these different energies interact and how they play off of each other or progress from one another.
It's not really random as people may think it is. It's very much of a system. It's very organized. When you look at Tifereth and you look at beauty, beauty is many ways to get to beauty, right? You really look at it. Like all roads lead to beauty, a beautiful life, a beautiful person, a beautiful energy. The star is spiritual beauty, right? Like imagine a woman that is Neptunian, like, developed spiritually as a means of beautifying herself. Like, this is all energy we've experienced through womb steams. Like, men are the benefactor of a womb steam. Right? That's the reward. Get some fresh steam. What's that? You understand? The difference between that and other variations of the sex game, but that woman has to be spiritually in tune with herself to even take those steps. That's a conscious thing. That's a conscious paradigm. You know, most chicks don't care about that type of stuff, you know, but conscious woman, she got all different types of remedies that's like natural, but that's beautiful. Like, if you ask me, you know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. Like a synthetic or artificial is not that beautiful to me. It's like you bought that look. That ain't real. But you know, it's just so many different things. And then you look at Saturn connected to different discipline is beautiful. Like, what's good in discipline? I'll wait. You see a disciplined man, a disciplined woman. That's some beautiful stuff. But we might say love is just this random thing that we just hope manifests out of the blue. That's glamour. Devotion is something different. We study in the tree of life. Everything is the human body in different forms and different blockages and different pathways to get to the same goal. All roads lead to Tiferet, if you really look at it.
And when you think about Tiferet is the prince, and that prince is like that guardian angel coming down to the queen and awakening you.
If I'm not mistaken, Saint Michael ruled Tiferet, but I could be mistaken.
I think you're right. If not Michael, it's Raphael.
I ain't even going to do a bias. What angel rules Tiferet?
Not like that.
I was going to be biased, but Raphael.
Yeah.
That's an archangel, though. So we in the ballpark. Yeah. We've been kicking up some game, man.
No rap cap, man. And if you always want to like be able to like get into the game and be able to like rap with the crew, join the Discord, man. It's just too fire not to join. We always chatting. We always in that mug. We also got some hot stuff coming up. Pause to do as a group. So join the Discord so you can be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? No scam, and no sex. You can promote your business. We got a Reels tabs. You can share your Reels, your business. You can share Reels other things, but don't like.
No fool.
No. Like, even if your profile picture provocative, if you got some tatas slinging in the picture, don't be wondering why you're not in chat no more. We don't need no persuasion going on, no seduction.
Right, it's a place for that. It ain't on there. Wrong app.
You better go to X, Twitter.
Shit, that's probably why they named Twitter X. Oh shit.
Short for XXX.
Yup. It's just one X. Oh Lord. Instagram gonna turn to XX.
Man. Crazy. Crazy, man.
Does anybody check out any questions, man? Anything I want to ask, or anything we went over tonight, or just something that's been on your mind you just want to rap about? Be like, man, I want to bring this to the collective.
Get off your chest.
Bow.
But really, we did a impromptu show because we haven't done no shows in a minute. But the idea to incorporate and interact. So anytime, any questions, any concepts, you could, find us on the Discord, have conversations, and whatever we could do to help you, assist you along your magical journey, we will do. But the reality is we can't do that much because the majority of this shit you're gonna have to do your goddamn self. Sorry, not sorry. So get up on a good foot and tune into your higher self and do this spiritual work. Do y'all got any parting words for the collective before we get up out of here?
I just want to say, go listen to Shining Star by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Listen to Devotion, and listen to Imagination. Just go through their discography, man. They got some very healing music. That's what I'm gonna be on for the next 2 weeks. On my Wind, and Fire, man.
I think this Eclipse energy. I'm gonna tune into that. Charles Stepney too. He is one of their producers. Yeah. He got a fire playlist on Spotify.
Shit. Yeah. For me, man, I'm gonna really tap in with the Eclipse, and all just because this one book. Go ahead and fuck with me on it. We're gonna be rapping about this soon. If you want to see little snippets and things about that, you can check it out on my YouTube because I will be posting things about it. But really step into some magic because that's what we've been talking about tonight. And John D is, since we talked about Pascal Beverly Randolph, I'm gonna mention John D before we go. So check into that, tap in with me on this, and it's time to just like open our minds to just some higher shit, fun shit. And yeah, man, check out the Hereford's Book Club, check out Sacred Talks, check out the Columbian Exchange, get funky with the right rabbit, man. Jump in that rabbit hole. Yeah. Like don't trip and fall in it. I want you to scuba dive like you finna dive in the yeah.
Love rabbits. One thing I'll say, man, eat bananas with your microdose.
Oh my God.
It's something about bananas with it, man. I'm for real. Like I done tried handful of blueberries, strawberries, but something about bananas. And I remember seeing something about it online, but I haven't been doing it. And then, I got some with my blue magnolia, and it was just like, man, like the mushrooms, man, you just don't be eating a heavy American breakfast and taking them. It's not gonna do what you want it to do. It's just not, like eat a banana, drink some water, and then probably, an hour after that, eat something. But like allow it to release, in an empty stomach. Cause that's where you get the full benefits. And just speaking from experience, because I done ate food and tried to take my microdose, and I just looking like a fool. But that's how
I had
learn,
a bad trip. Why?
Yeah.
I had 2 BLTs. I had like 3 bacon sandwiches.
And you literally taking the mushrooms and they not doing nothing.
Man, I had people tell me, they're like, I didn't feel it. I'm like, what you do? Well, shit, we ate a pizza, then we started watching the game, and then we had a few beers. I'm like,
yeah, man.
All right, man. Yeah, I wonder why you didn't. Okay.
You could have just saved that for Sunday morning.
Man.
Some tea and a banana.
Man, if you really want to enjoy your microdose, fast on your microdose. I used to do that, and I still do so many times, like going on hikes or going on workouts, going on meditations, fast with my microdose, and you just gonna be in a different spot, man. I'm not even finna like gas up, because once you get your experience, you're gonna be like me and be like, I'm not trying to gas it up, but damn. Like, so
I agree.
I think we should have like a little show on that. Just talk about what it does for your brain, because the White Rabbit talks about it all the time. Just the benefits of just activating your brain. So people always talk about we only use 10%. We're advanced, but we never do the things to activate it. We never do the things to really tap into it. So I'll see you in the rabbit hole. You're gonna see me there.
Yeah.
Well, man, this was a great show, man. I like rapping with y'all, so you can tune in, tap in, subscribe to all of the channels. Hit all the links in the description. Follow us on IG and join the Discord to keep in contact with the movement. We gonna post, we gonna talk, we gonna share, and build something. So thank y'all for y'all support, all of the super chats, all of the likes, all of the comments. We appreciate it all. Until next time, we'll see y'all on the flip side, man. Peace.
Peace.